On February 5, 1916, the current political constitution, the United Mexican States, constituted our supreme law. So in this video, we will address specific points about Mexican law. We begin with the formal sources of Mexican law. The law constitutes the most important formal source in law in Mexico. The legislative process consists of 6 stages, which are initiative, discussion, approval, sanction, publication, and initiation of validity. Jurisprudence is a set of principles established in the resolution of certain courts when interpreting law or when defining the assumptions not provided for in them. Custom, these are unwritten legal rules imposed by use that is through the constant reiteration of human behavior. The classification of the regulatory system, the highest level is occupied for the political constitution, the United Mexican States, and the international treaties remain in the back room. The federal and local law with equal hierarchy. The supreme power of federation is divided into legislative, executive, and judicial powers. That is why my college tell you about each of them.
The executive power is invested in the figure of a president, which is elected through a popular vote every 4 years with the chance of being re-elected for one consecutive term. In a case given that a president cannot fulfill the duties and responsibilities through this term, then the figure of vice president rises up to be the president. Nowadays, Joe Biden is the president of the United States of America and Kamala Harris is the vice president of USA. Both of them are from the Democratic Party. Generally, the responsibilities and duties of the president are outlined on the second article of the USA Constitution. Some of the most popular are, first and foremost, he is the head chief of the armed guards and can call them into services, including National Guards. Now, with the Senate, he can nominate people to occupy leadership roles in the governmental places and federal judges, but the Senate can approve or disapprove those nominations. Also, he can arrange and plan treaties, but the Senate has to approve of them. Now, with the Congress, he cannot call into war, and the Congress are the only ones with the faculty of doing so. He can call veto. What does veto mean? So that he can put a stop to a legislation that has passed before a Congress. He also can give the pardon to federal offenses. He can call special sessions of the Congress and has the faculty to give an executive order. An executive order is something that's not necessarily a law, but due to the power given to the president, has the same power and doesn't have to be passed through Congress before.
Legislative power. The legislative power in Mexico has 2 chambers, the Chamber of Deputies and the Senate of the Republic. This system is established in the political constitution of the United Mexican States and functions as one of the 3 powers of government. The Chambers of Deputies consist of 500 deputies, of which 300 are elected through a relative majority system in single-member electoral district, and the other 200 through proportional representation from list and 5 multi-member regional constituencies. Deputies serve a term of 3 years with the possibility of immediate re-election. The Senate of the Republic is made of 128 senators. Of these, 64 are elected by relative majority, 2 for each of the 31 states and Mexico City. 32 are elected by the principle of first minority, the second highest vote getter in each state and Mexico City. and the remaining 32 through proportional representation from the national list. Senators are elected for a term of 6 years, also with the possibility of immediate re-election. The main role of Congress is to create laws. Both chambers discuss and approve laws affecting the country. Congress has the capability to review and oversee government accounts and administration. One of the most important roles is the approval of the national budget for revenues and expenditures. The Senate has the exclusive power to ratify appointments of ministers of the Supreme Court of Nation of Justice, ambassadors, consul, and other high-ranking public officials proposed by the President. The Senate also plays significant roles in approving international treaties and decisions related to foreign policy.
The judiciary is responsible for settling disputes that the reason of jurisdiction arise between the courts of the Federation, between them and those of the federated entity, or between those of one federated entity and another. Function of the judiciary power. The members of this power are, among others, the Minister of the Supreme Court of Justice of the Nation, the Judge of the Electoral Tribunal of the Judiciary of the Federation, the Judge of the Circuit Courts, College and Unitary, and the District Judge. They are responsible, among other matters, for interpreting laws, resolving disputes that arise between the individuals when dealing with matters of federal jurisdiction, in disputes that arise when a law or act of authority violates individuals' rights, and resolve conflicts between authorities to solve. One of the most important functions of the judiciary of the Federation is to protect the constitutional order. This is done through various means, including the parliamentary constitutional disputes, action of inconstitutionality, and the investigative faculty. Have contact in the same being the judiciary is responsible for monitoring the constitutional articles in order to ensure that the action of the executive and legislative branches are always based on the Constitution under and critical that the late analysis they can investigate the different laws that emanate from Constitution itself in order to be able to resolve the conflicts between the authorities and the conflicts between and the authority of the private individuals. The judiciary is made up of Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, Civil Courts, Warrant Courts, Courts of the Common Jurisdiction, Family Courts, Courts of Oral Trial in Criminal Matters, Labor Courts and Pension Courts, Courts Common Jurisdiction with two Judge Criminal Courts.
The judicial process in Mexico, which generally follows the following stage. 1. The presentation of the claim. The process begins when the plaintiff is alleged before the competent of the court. And number 2. The admission of the claim. In this part, the judge reviews with the license to make sure it meets the legal requirements in the claim to admit. Number 3. The notification to the defendant. The defendant receives an official notice that includes a copy of the complaint and a summons to appear in court in one certain date. 4. A response to the complaint. The defendant must respond to the complaint in one period from 15 days and with present evidence and arguments. The preliminary disputes in some cases reconciliation within the parts make the advancement. Number 6, the presentation of evidence. Both parties in witness. This may include documents, testimonies, expert reports, and on another things. Number 2, three things. And the argument for the both sides evaluates the evidence presented and may question witness. 8. The sentences. After the considering all the evidence and arguments, the judge issues the ruling that resolves the case. The ruling may be favorable of the one of the parties, may include my intermediate solution. Number 9, resource. If any of the parties don't agree with the sentencing when at first, and in this part are the case. Number 10, the execution of the sentence. And another option and offer with the curve. And issue is very important. You respect that points with the process, with the correct process.